Alright. No intro. We're going straight to racing. We're at Valley Trail Riders. And, woof. This would get my vote for probably hardest and technical track of the year. With all the tight tree areas and just a long, grueling course. It was pushing my limits, and I really wanted to finish this race. Before I found out how long it was, my goal was to take it easy, finish the race, and that was it. I just wanted to finish the race. I've been trying to get there, and I ended up calling it quits after 2 hours and 5 minutes, or 2 hours and 2 minutes, and that ended up being just a 2 laps. So some of the guys that ended up doing more laps were up in the 3 to 4 hour range, and unfortunately, yours truly does not have the endurance for that yet. I'm working on it, but I don't have it there. I did make a mistake at startup. We were at the riders meeting, and I didn't walk the course in the beginning to see if we were going to make a left or a right. Last year we made a right after the straightaway, and so I lined up on the left hand side of the track, so I get more of a little gradual move over to the turn rather than have to do a hard what I assumed was going to be a right. Nope, we're doing a left. So I ended up being not where I wanted to be, but I still made do with it. I wasn't really out front with everyone, but I did see some carnage of some people going down, and there'll be some of that later in the video at the very end, if you stick around for it. One thing you'll notice this race, all the downed riders to the side right in the beginning. It's not very common. You might see 1 or 2 guys with technical problems, but I think some of this tightness and trees and stuff took some people out in the very beginning. This is only a couple minutes into the race. There's people off to the side. My guess is they had to fall. Maybe 1 or 2 technical things. Forgot to turn down their gas or whatnot. But yeah, nice day out. We were doing, I think, ended up being about 80 degrees that day. So we started about 12:15 with racing. Had to be up in the mid to upper 70s. We're coming up to our first backup. I did you guys a favor and fast forwarded through some of this. Yeah. Which I should have probably threw in some music, la-di-da-da-da. And there was no going around. There was some weird branches off to each side, so it was really hard to get through. Well, those guys on the far left did it. If I would have noticed that they were doing it, I would have went that way. I didn't see it, so I didn't go that way. I was unfortunately choo-chooing in this line right here, which I'm usually the first one to say, just, hit the stuff and yada yada. And I actually went down, which it wasn't a hard log at all. Yeah, the recluse just accidentally sent me in another bad spot. Alright, we're back on it. We're going. Get back on this high horse. I took off my crep suspension so I can rework it. Got a little tiny leak on the rear shock, and I want to change some fluid and respring it in the front. So I put the stock suspension back on, and I was like, holy moly, this thing is tall as a freaking huge-ass horse. Which, is good for suspension travel, although I never resprung the suspension, and I can tell it's soft. I ended up, the newer KTMs have a rubber O-ring on the forks, and you can slide it up, and after you go through a whole bunch of stuff, you can kind of see how much suspension travel you use. Well, my O-ring was probably not even a ½ inch above the bottom lug of the fork. So whenever they say how much suspension did you use, I used all of it. Which it didn't feel that bad with the brake diving or anything like my 300 did. And going to send a huge round of applause to the guys over at Valley Trail Riders. While this was tight, and I'm usually pretty harsh on all the downed ribbons and confusion with going on old trails, they had some key people set up in very good areas, and for the 2 laps I did not get lost once. I did have to pay attention to some of the, like turns and everything, but I was able to do it pretty dang quick and stay on trail. So this would be the first time that I never got off trail from someone blowing down the ribbon. Yeah, back up. A lot of trees. We're going off-roading a tiny bit. These guys are holding it up right there. Really tight pinch point, and my guess is he stalled out the bike. Only to get to another one. I would say overall, there was really good terrain changes in here. Let's see. We had some grass track. We had just a little bit of some areas from the old, maybe the kids' dirt track. Tons of trees. Tons of trees. This, if you weren't good at trees, this was definitely going to be one of those ones that would make you sweat. I personally like trees. I just need a halfway decent run up on it with some speed. And unfortunately, a good majority of these trees weren't just straight across where you're hitting them at a 90-degree angle, straight on. They had just a little bit of a lean to them, which does make it a little bit harder. I will generally turn into it to try getting that like straight hit on them, because you can generally get your front tire up and over, but your back tire will just slide out. Oh, someone's not happy. Yep, I didn't get a good run up. Tall suspension just plopped me over. I went to go put my foot down and got nothing but air. Look at that. Jam up. I'm a guy causing a backup now. Let's get out of here. There we go. Electric start. Boom. If I was on my 200, I would have been having to fight getting back kicking and everything. My bike's already going. I just need to get on and get back to rolling. I really wish I would have made a 3rd lap on this course, but I had to drive home. I was freaking whooped. I didn't want to be on the side of the track puking. So this is really just a highlight of 2 hours of GoPro footage. See, look at that, boom, turn left, because if you're going really fast, you would have possibly went through that arrow. There's one of those trees that look like a 45-degree angle. Just cruising around. Here comes my first mud hole. It caught me off guard because it's so dry. Kind of like my voice, you hear that? Dry. It was so dry, I wasn't expecting any mud. But this time I'm checking it out. Going to the right, we're going to get around. Captain said he was stuck in a mud hole for about 10 minutes. My guess is it was one of those two if I was a betting man. Cruising through the woods on my full-length, non-cut handlebars.
Cut down your bars for this horse.
Yep. I'm gonna have to go through and measure out my bars. I know that I think my 300 bars are still stock and these bars are still stock. I normally cut an inch off right from the start of owning a bike, but for some reason, do not think I did. The tape measure will not lie to me. So my technique that I use on logs that are kind of on an angle like that, give it some gas, get the front tire over, don't give it gas on the back tire. because give it gas on the back tire, it will slide that back end out. So if you go over it and you just cruise the back tire over it, it's generally not too bad. So, you guys want any advice from me? See, hit it straight on, take it over, boom. I'm a little worried about these little streams. Just because it was so like hilly and choppy by it that I was just a little paranoid I was going to go down into it. Oh, my mom just texted me. Please, let me know when your video's done. Well, guess what, Mom? I'm recording it right now. Speaking of Mom, my mom ended up coming out to the races. She hasn't been there in maybe about a year or two, so she was out there hanging out with me. Tony Jr. was supposed to come out, but she said that he wanted to sleep in and sip on his coffee. Plus, he got a dog bite from one of his dogs not too long ago, so his toe was all messed up. And then lo and behold, I was just talking to him this morning. So, if you guys know or don't know, Tony Jr. has horrible luck. If it's bound to happen, it's bound to happen with him. Yesterday, he decides to be a good neighbor. Help his neighbor carry some bed frame, something of a truck, and he slips, and this thing comes down and cuts his leg. So not only does he got this like half-bitten toe, now he's fucked up, or he's messed up his leg. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. So, oh my gosh, you should have just stuck to racing. You injure yourself less. Here's these crazy mounds. I don't know if they dug these mounds or what, but it was definitely up and down, up and down. I actually enjoyed this course a lot. It was very fatiguing. By the end of the second lap, I was starting to do those, I'm really, really tired and I just made a mistake. I'm about to fall over as I'm leaning against this little sapling tree, trying to get it to hold me up from falling. That's whenever you know you're tired. So up we go down. I must say that Mako 360 definitely helped out this race. I normally get a lot of, I won't say, I get some arm pump, but my hands just go numb. I got carpal tunnel in both my hands, so. But this race I didn't really have a problem. Maybe because I was going slower, so I wasn't really digging on the handlebars as much. Oh, ride her down. Oh, there's a guy coming up here. I think it's this one. I think he was taking the stream down there. Yeah, listen to him. I think he took the stream down to avoid some of this to go faster. And he's just shooting stuff all over the place. I love how the track worker's just like, yep, you went down there, you can get yourself out.
But I need every ounce of energy I can get.
Ended up parking with Mr. 002 for my longtime viewers, which actually is kind of funny. I was going through the District 14 hare scramble photos, you know, of course looking at some pictures of me. I found one super unflattering picture of me, and I was like, nope, I'm not going to put this in. It was just like, I'm going down through some whoops, and I'm right on the bottom side of it, so like the suspension's just all crammed down, and I'm making some like goofy pose. I'm like, no, I won't use that one. But I found like 3 really cool pictures of him, so I'm going to put those in the video. And then there was some sequence shots of, I believe it's my class, of someone falling down. So one guy goes down, another guy gets around him, but then someone else runs into him. He goes down, so our photographer got some pretty good pictures of that. Go! Go! I do like having some speed when I go up to this stuff. If you go up really slow like that, it's just not going to work the best. I got stuck. No speed. And coming on a really funky angle off to the side.
Good job!
he made it over nice and clean. Hey, I give credit where credit is due. You make a clean little pass, you're riding good, you make it over something good, I gotta tell you, there's no hate in my game. Alright, I'm following the crew, cutting the corner. I wasn't pushing too hard through the grass track. I don't know why. I didn't have a lot of confidence in hitting those turns fast and hard. I don't know. With that slide out I did last time, and then in the past, I just kind of haven't pushed those as hard. Believe it or not, I did most of this course in about maybe second, third gear. Third gear a lot. I drop it down a second. If I seen something that I need a little more power. You can kind of hear I'm not like getting up into the power band the most, but luckily the power on the 150 is still kind of there. Gotta clean out that plug. I've been plugging this course. I guess you know you're doing halfway decent when you can hear some wind on the microphone. So I'm coming out of the woods right here, kind of fast, nice and aggressive, and I just look over to the left and see my mom, and she has her camera, and I was like, oh nice, she got a good video of me. And I was like, hey, you got a pretty good video of me coming out of the woods there? And she's like, nope, I got a picture, I'll send it to you. And it was a picture of me already going straight and flat, just like I'm cruising through a field. I was like, thank you, Mom. Alright, we're coming up to scoring, and I better not mess up my video. I was going to go scroll over to my results, tell you how quick I made it through. Offhand, I think it was, I don't know, 50 minutes to an hour for one lap. But the first lap I think was extra long. And the I was in 11th place at this particular time. That is mainly due to getting around some of those backups. Some of those backups really slowed people down. 54 minutes. Oh, 54 minutes, okay. Stopwatch on the handlebars definitely helps you. Lets you know what you can kind of expect for a next lap and how fast you're going. Yeah, write it down. Sandy in that area. I stink in the sand. Yeah, see me struggling through that stuff. No speed, wrong gear. Let's get back in the woods. That's what I like. Tell you what, this place was packed. I didn't look and see what the official numbers were for the, I thought we were going to the right for a second. I didn't pay attention to what the numbers were, but if I'm not spending the night, I tried getting there about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. Get a halfway decent parking spot, get registered. I pulled in at 9 o'clock on the dot. Didn't even drop my bike, just grabbed my helmet and headed to registration. Boom. Registration was good, but I normally park over by the, where they have some of the jumps and tires and logs and all that stuff. That was completely packed. Everywhere else was packed. I only knew of one empty spot because I've seen it on the road driving in, so I hurry up and jumped in there. And I was trying to save a spot for my mom. Then 002 came in, so I gave him my mom's spot. And then my mom parked probably about 20 feet away anyway, so it wasn't too big of a deal. Yep, getting tired. Getting tired. Got a hand to these people that kept going. I was literally like changed, snacked on food, had my bike loaded up, and I could still hear people racing. I was like, oh my gosh. It reminds me whenever they used to have the 3-hour class, which they did away with. But yeah, I used to be like done with my race, sitting, relaxing, and they'd be out racing still. Which, I must say, they did take a little bit of a poll before the race at the riders meeting, saying, hey, do we want to cut the race at this particular time, or do we want to go and do the 2-hour rule, where if the leader comes in before 2 hours, then everyone else after that, I think we'll get the checkered flag. But if they come in after 2 hours, then everyone will have to do another lap. And they're like, in C-class riders, that might end up putting you guys at the 4-hour mark. And I'm like, whoa, I'm not voting for that one, because I know I won't make it 4 hours. I made it 2 hours. And that was still kind of pushing it for me. The good thing is we get a nice break for me to get in some more conditioning. Yeah, I'm getting tired, holding up people, trying to let them through.
Yeah, hold on for you.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Next time I'm going to stay in there. I hate whenever I try being nice and the choo-choo train goes by me. But I was tired, not really racing for points this year. I'm out here having fun. So, if you guys are pushing it, go ahead, get on by me. And actually, the best thing you can say is not in your class. You know what that does? That lets me let you through. Hey, I got hung up here. I'm getting tired. Look at, I was on this route. Oh God, this is what I was talking about. I was getting tired, and I was caught up on a sapling. You can see it right underneath my leg. Now my bike's on my boot. I have like no leverage to lift it up. Oh gosh, that's when you know you're tired. Let me just cut you off so I can get back going. Oh, I'm walking the bike up. I'm so tired that I want to like make sure I can get on good. Alright, we're back rolling. I always do better, no matter how tired I am, when there's people around. I won't call it showing off, but it just gives me that motivation to keep going a little faster. I was worried about the tire jump. I wasn't sure where it was at. I could have probably jumped this. There's a lot of sand up on this now. Logs are not too loggy. These are probably some of my favorite sections right here. Get a little speed, get a little energy back. Try getting a little jump in. I forget if I even jumped anything halfway decent. Nope. I didn't realize there was a little bypass on the side of that. Oh well. I like that stuff. You hear me breathing. Alright, if you made it this far, this is my last clip. I won't say it's the most exciting, but here's a photographer on the left. Boom, that's when she got me. Fully compressed suspension, and my body posture still looks horrible. I was like, should I put this in? I was like, no, this is the most unflattering racing picture I think I've ever taken in my life. But here we go. AMA, District 14, hare scramble photos with Mr. 002. Wait, look at those aggressive pictures. He's in the B class now. And then here is a crash I think it happened in my class. 35 plus C. Boom, boom, another rider down. These guys are rolling. There's carnage. Oh, not a good way to start off the race. Kind of reminds me of Billy Bolt in Harrisburg this year. Frickin' took a dump and still ended up, from memory, second place. That's it. That's all I got for you guys. See you at the next one.